From Williams Arena in Minneapolis, it's the start of the Class 4A State Girls Basketball Tournament. The unseeded White Bear Lake Bears taking on the #1 seed, the Hopkins Royals. From Minneapolis, John Jacobson and Patty Sorensen, the first of 2 games we'll do today on CCX. Maple Grove and Lakeville North coming up at 12 noon. Hopkins getting to this game, and they're in the tournament. Patty seemingly every year took care of business against Wayzata in the state section final, rather, in the Section 6 tournament. And it seems to be always those 2 teams, and the Royals again coming out on top of the Trojans.
It does. You know, they have a good, tough conference, and then they come into the section playing one of the top teams in the state also, and that always brings up a fun matchup. And I'm sure both coaches wish they were both here and maybe in different sections, but it gets them prepared. It gets them ready. They're coming in playing off of a good game.
Let's look at highlights from that section final win for Hopkins. Again, a team that they played for a 3rd time this season, and they were the host team playing at the Royals Activity Center, and the Hopkins really shot the ball well that night and able to take care of Wayzata 78-62. Wayzata had played them fairly close the 2nd time, but it was a 2-point game at halftime, and Hopkins coming back and rallying and winning it, and here they are again at state. No surprise to see a Hopkins team here, no matter the coach. Over the years, Tara Starks now, Brian Cosgriff obviously before, so we'll get the 4A bracket. As I mentioned, this is the first of 4 4A games here at Williams, the first of 6 games overall. There'll be 2 Class 2A games following these 4. Lakeville North and Maple Grove will follow at noon, and then Andover, Minnetonka, the #2 seed, playing at 2 p.m., and Rosemont against STMA today at 4. The semifinals here at Williams tomorrow night, and the championship game on Saturday also here at Williams. A terrific venue, I think, for the girls basketball tournament, has been for a long time.
I just love this venue. I think it's a perfect place for the girls to be able to play. You got your college team setting here. You've got a great atmosphere. People are close to the floor. Great opportunity.
Let's look at our key players, starting with the White Bear Lake Bears. Jordan Schmidt-Deal is a senior forward and went over 1,000 career points in the section tournament. Headed to Northern Michigan to the senior. The senior leaders were good scorers. You need them to come through in a big way against, when you're the underdog, right, against a team like Hopkins.
Definitely. You know, not only is she a scorer, she's averaging, like you said, 11 rebounds, 4 steals, 1,000-point scorer. She's going to bring in the leadership to the team and hopefully the calmness they need to stick to their game plan and get the job done their way.
And for Hopkins, Tatum Woodson is a junior. He's had a good season for them. First year as a full-time starter, 13.6 points per game, could dish the ball as well, and had 22 points in that section final win. The highlights you just saw against Wayzata, and she's ready to play today.
Oh, she sure is. You know, she gives them more depth and more, I mean, she's aggressive both ends of the floor. She's a confident player, you know, and you just surround with the depth that they have there, and she's going to do a great job, and this should be an exciting game watching both of these people go against each other.
A little bit bigger court here at Williams Arena. How does that factor into play for the teams?
Well, you know, so nowadays I don't really know if it does. You know, you're watching some of these kids step farther back from the 3-point line when they shoot in the games. Obviously prepared, maybe a little different conditioning for some of the kids that aren't used to it, but I think once they get going and get the jitters gone, they're not going to notice the difference.
That should be a good one, and a fun way for us to kick off our coverage of the State Girls Basketball Tournament for 2024. It's White Bear Lake and Hopkins, and it comes your way next here on CCX. CCX Media, your source for great local programming, is available on Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, and Roku. Our free app allows you to stream all 3 of our channels live. You also have access to a large on-demand library, including full sporting events and daily newscasts. To find us, go to the store, search CCX, and download our free app. Then sit back and enjoy all of your favorite local content. The CCX Media app, available on Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, and Roku. Back at Williams Arena in Minneapolis, ready for Hopkins and White Bear Lake. First of 4 quarterfinal round games today here at Williams in White Bear Lake. The underdog Patties we talked about in the pregame against Hopkins. And we're looking for some really good basketball here today. So let's look at our starting lineup first of all before we get to a tip-off. For the Bears, it's Cantley Backmeyer, Addison Post, Abby O'Brien, Jordan Schmidt-Deal, Heidi Barber, Tatum Woodson, London Harris, Liv McGill, Lauren Hilsheim, and Irma Walker. For the Hopkins Royals, we get ready for tip. What do you want to see from White Bear Lake here early on as they play the underdog role here against the Royals?
I want to see how they handle the intense pressure that Hopkins is going to bring at them. And see also when Hopkins is on defense, how are they going to defend some of their players?
Hopkins no stranger to this tournament, but neither is White Bear Lake. They've been in this tournament a number of times over the years. Played Hopkins a couple of years ago in the state semifinal. Royals going on to the championship game where they find themselves quite often. Won it a couple years ago, lost last year to St. Michael Albertville, and looking to get back to the title game here again in 2024. Liv McGill will take the first shot of the game, puts it up off the back iron. It comes right to Woodson. Inside Walker, nice little spin move. Great move to the basket, a soft touch off the glass for the freshman.
She did an excellent job. Good easy post and then just stayed to her fundamentals. Drop it down, lay it up off the glass.
Bachmeyer into the front court, bringing up against the pressure of Harris, and then hands off to Post. Post in a little trouble, and then Harris trying to run through. And the ball handler to get to the ball and commits the foul.
That's really going to be one of the big keys is how does White Bear answer to Maple Grove's intense defense that they throw at you and the trapping and the pressure. And you don't want to pick up the ball too soon because you saw what happened there. Picked it up and she was covered. And
post pass a little bit behind Schmidt-Deal, able to gather it in though near half court. Trapped by that half court line, then spins inside of Walker all the way to the basket. Not good, gets an offensive rebound and gets fouled. That was good work by Schmidt-Deal. Almost trapped out near the half court line and able to work herself inside Walker and eventually draw contact and a foul on Hopkins, their second.
She just kept battling in there, and that's fun to see. That's what they're going to have to bring. They're going to have to just attack the bucket, move the ball around.
3 from the corner, too long for Heidi Barber. And rebounded as Hopkins brings it in. Woodson baseline left, good look, in and out. Not good, loose ball tracked down by Barber. And Post to the front court. Off to Bachmeyer. In the corner, Schmidt-Deal. And a spin inside Woodson this time. A little runner shot, not good. Loose ball. Controlled by White Bear Lake, and we'll get a foul. Loose ball foul whistled on McGill. So 3 early fouls here on Hopkins in the first 2+ minutes of play.
You know, and that's one thing, that you're an aggressive team, but you also have to kind of know where you are, where they are, and avoid building up the fouls.
McGill pops it back after the turnover by White Bear Lake under the basket. McGill goes the other way and gets her first points of the day. 4-0 Hopkins. Bachmeyer turning and then hands off to Schmidt-Deal. Hands it back out to Post. Post driving, some taller players there, tried to pass it back out, instead turned it over. Hill waits for all her team to get ready, now and she'll take it. Goes out to the corner on the 3 ball and missed by Hilsheim. And foul on Hopkins. It's going to be on White Bear Lake. Looks like this one's on, no, it is on Hopkins again.
That's going to be a concern for them, you know, with her sitting down with 2 fouls right away.
Liv McGill's got to go to the bench with 2. Hill, the 22.4 points per game scorer, headed to Florida next year for college basketball. And certainly makes a difference if she has to sit for an extended period.
Definitely. You know, when we've seen that happen one other time, and there's a lot of depth on this team and a lot of skill, and they were able to pick some of it up.
White Bear Lake, though, with turnovers early on, really hurting them. They haven't been able to get the ball into the basket. Another one on that possession, and then a foul called as well on White Bear Lake.
Well, I think one of the keys for White Bear Lake, too, is going to be, okay, when you pick up, how the people without the ball are moving. You know, because a lot of times the ball pressures at them. They're picking up their dribble, and they need more movement off ball.
Here's to Hillshine. To Harris, he's swinging around left side. Woodson underneath, Hillshine open. Great ball movement by Hopkins. Hillshine with the basket, and a timeout for White Bear Lake. Coach Post not happy with his team with breaking down on defense there. It's an early Hopkins 6-0 lead.
Oh, definitely. He's going to address that. You know, when you're in that zone, you got to pay attention to those baseline cutters. And she made a beautiful baseline cut, was left wide open. They didn't see her. He's going to talk about those adjustments, but I'm pretty sure he's going to talk what's going on down there, too. Yeah, she had come from the baseline right around, and that's where you guys say you got to be communicating. You guys got to be talking a whole lot more on defense, know where the people are.
Jeremy Post, very veteran coach. So a lot of teams get to the state tournament. 351 career wins for him. Just wants to make sure he's got his girls' attention now.
Yes, yes.
A lot of really good athletes on this White Bear Lake team. They were in the state soccer tournament last year. A lot of multi-sport girls who are terrific athletes, not just basketball players. And that's always fun to have when you've got girls who play a lot of different sports and bring a little different thing to each activity.
Well, and when you talk to him about where's your leadership, he said, I have 5 seniors. 5 seniors that are good leaders. They've led the team all along. And you look at that, 3 of them are going to play a college sport, including their manager would make the 4th person on the team going off to play a college sport. So that's exciting. Ava
Cupido into the game for Hopkins, missed on the 3 after another White Bear Lake turnover on their last possession. They were able to get Schmidt-Deal on a shot early on in that first possession, but it's been mostly turnovers since. Now there's a shot, but missed by Post, and it's one and done, and the rebound by Hopkins.
They need that one to fall just to get there. Okay, I'm here, I'm on the court, I'm used to it. Let's just get one to drop and get into our system.
Walker turns and scores. Another bucket for the freshman. 8-0 Hopkins.
Well, and Hopkins is getting their points by moving the ball. Good movement on and off the ball. They're getting the open cutters, and they're being patient, and they're getting great shots.
Woodson, who we talked about in our pregame, no points yet, but 3 assists already, Patty, on the 4 baskets.
You know, and that's one of my favorite things to watch is some of these kids that are so selfless. They see their teammate, they make the great pass or the extra pass.
Hillshine tipped that last shot, so it's out of bounds to White Bear Lake. Cedra Williams, sophomore, in now for Hopkins. Elizabeth Wallach in for the Bears. And Sarah Popard as well. And Malia White, number 11, in as well for Hopkins at that whistle. Ball out of bounds. Last touched by Hopkins. Tara Starks thought that last ball was certainly off of White Bear Lake. Look at that record in 4 seasons. That can't get too much better than that.
No, she's had a great 4 seasons so far.
Great pressure defense by Cupido. Ball tipped away by Woodson. Back she goes the other way. Tough shot, not good, but Cupido's right there and follows it up. You know, we talked about when McGill went out, what they're going to lose offensively, but their defense is just so good. And that's it's preached in that team, practicing in and out, right? And so no matter who's on the floor, as White Bear Lake gets on the board on the 3 ball by the 8th grader, Sarah Popard.
They did a good job breaking that press, finding an open person on the baseline.
Cupido trying to answer short. Follow up by White. That won't go. Loose ball. Hillsheim got fouled after she came out of there with the basketball. But going back to the defense, even if you don't have your top scorer out there, you can still bring the effort and the intensity and the execution on defense, which Hopkins has done here for the most part tonight.
Well, and definitely, and with their pressure defense, the turnovers leading to an offensive transition bucket or getting another chance at the offensive look.
Woodson thought about the three, gave it to White, now tried to go inside. That was knocked away. Skip pass across to Cupido. Corner, Hillsheim. Drive, and a nice little step-in move and scores. And the junior with the basket. 9-point Hopkins lead. Post bringing it up against Woodson. Post back out. Dribble in and then back out with the pass. Schmidt-Deal getting it in, knocked away from Wallach. Another turnover for the Bears. Cupido to Woodson. Three ball for her is good. 15-3 Hopkins. Steal, two more. No, I called it too early. Hillsheim, that won't go. John anticipating the layup instead is wrong. But this one did go in. Woodson, a great shooter.
She sure is, and it just all facets of her game, the passing, the defense, the shooting. She'll also attack, but right here, I mean, that's what created another look at the basket. I know they missed a couple of them there and ended up with a foul, but her defense when she came up to help trap, got the ball loose and they got a shot off.
Double team Harris, traveling, forces the turnover of Schmidt-Deal. Ran into a double and tried to get the pass away, but not until she traveled. Here's Walker defending, and then Harris comes over. Again, there's the team defense that forces a turnover for Hopkins. Cupido, baseline, looking for handoff and gets it, and back out high goes to Harris. That sight shot from Cupido won't go, and squeezed out of there, and Schmidt-Deal will run it up herself and then lost it out of bounds. Knocked down Harris as well. No foul, but it is a turnover. Schmidt-Deal just losing control of the ball.
Well, and I think this pressure that Hopkins is applying is making White Bear push themselves out of a tempo that they probably have played or want to play, and that's what's causing a lot of their turnovers also.
White to Cupido. Three ball is up and good. And the freshman makes it a 15-point Hopkins lead. Drive by Post. Gets it out. Three-point shot from Popard. Timeout on the court.
I think coach is going to take some looks at how they're handling some of the pressure and all right, what do we got to do to not be turning the ball over as much, create more opportunities like this last shot where she got the three.
Popard's got all 6 points, the 8th grader.
It's tough to have an 8th grader like that, isn't it? Gotta like that when those young kids can step onto a floor like this in an atmosphere and a time like this and be able to put them down.
Notes on the Bears this season. The defense only giving up 50 points per game, scoring 16, winning the Suburban East. Man, they've been a really good first half team. Unfortunately, that has not come to bear so far today at Williams.
Exactly. You got to credit it all to Hopkins and the pressure they're putting and what they're causing. And you think you've got one person on you and you got another one coming from behind or side. And
Liv McGill sat for about 4 minutes back into the game for Hopkins with the 2 fouls. London Harris for 3. In and out. Loose ball. Walker gets tied up with Schmidtdeal. Possession arrow will keep it with Hopkins.
Just the ball movement that Hopkins is doing right now, making that defense work more and working and getting some good open looks.
Oh, nice step-in move by Williams. Couldn't finish at the rim, though. McGill dribbles out of traffic, and they'll reset for the Royals up top. Harris back to McGill. Lob in. Walker inside the free throw line, up and in. And the Walker's come to play today. It's 20-6. 6 points, couple of rebounds early on for Irma Walker. Post. Right corner 3, short on the shot was O'Brien. McGill, great bounce pass to Harris, around and in, and she's fouled. Threw it up as she drew contact, was able to get the shot to go, and she'll go to the line for the and one. The last couple of baskets for Hopkins. Nice soft touch on the mid-range jumper for Walker, and then McGill, great feed ahead for Harris, gets fouled by Schmidtdeal. Kisses high off the glass and in.
You know, there's a great sign of sportsmanship too after that, because you saw Harris slide into the corner down there, and you had a White Bear girl, the first one there, to help her up and make sure she's, and then of course the Hopkins players helping her up. I like to see that.
And a Bossman in for White Bear Lake now, number 22, as Harris completes the three-point play. (23-6) Hopkins halfway through the first half. Ball into the middle of the court. O'Brien will start the drive, and then her pass gets picked off. Here's McGill. Finds the open player. Harris took the pass from Woodson and it knocked away. Walker gets the back out to McGill. Trying to use a screen from Walker, step back, and then ball across into McGill's hands again. Down low, Hillsheim up and blocked, and we'll get a foul on White Bear.
White Bears, I think, trying to find an answer to the quickness that Hopkins plays both offensively and defensively, and that's tough because they play quick, they move the ball quick, and they hit seams.
Hillsheim, first of 2 free throws up and in. 5 points for her so far. 2 rebounds. Knocked them both down.
You gotta like it as your coach, as the coach, when you're looking at some of your players' free throw percentages that maybe aren't your best, and they're stepping up to the line and canning them, just not bouncing around, just swishes. So that's a positive for Hopkins when those kids are scoring at the line for him too.
Popard handing off to O'Brien, and a steal. Here's McGill loose, up and in. Only 4 points for McGill, but it's 27 total for Hopkins. Been a great team effort on both ends of the floor so far for top-seeded Royals. Three ball from O'Brien, gets it and one. Last couple baskets. Here's a steal for McGill. And then at the other end, White Bear Lake, chance for perhaps a 4-point play. Harris comes flying out of the jump shooter, made the shot, and then we'll go to the line for one more. Maybe O'Brien, the junior. There's 4 points on the possession for White Bear Lake. It's 27-10 here at Williams. Winner play either Maple Grove or Lakeville North in the semifinals Thursday night. Oh, tough shot. McGill, the little runner up and in.
You know, she made a pass that was a little not like her others, and it got deflected right back her and just tacked the middle. And like you said, she has a nice touch on that folder.
Post lob pass, getting it in to Schmidt-Deal. Lost it, but able to release the ball back out. Hillsheim steps in for the steal. Didn't have much help, able to go in there herself, 1-on-4, and still able to get the shot up and in.
What Hopkins is doing right now defensively, if you try to drive, they're collapsing on you. And then they've got on the wing trying to kick it out when they were being trapped. And the other defensive players are just stepping in the passing lane, and they're being able to steal the ball.
Post, off to Schmidt-Deal. Picks it up and then back out with a pass to Wallach. Post had a little opening. Nice kick out pass. Too strong on the shot from Bachmeier. Schmidt-Deal fouled by Walker. At the offensive rebound, she'll go to the line here for 2.
You know, that's why White Bear Lake needs to keep doing. You know, the last times we've seen them get a good shot, they've moved the ball, and if they've attacked the middle and it's collapsed, and they've been able to kick out. They're going to need sharp passes and crisp passes to do that, though. They can't give any weak passes because with the defense that Hopkins is playing, those are the kind of passes they'll pick off if they're not crisp and sharp.
Foul on Walker is her first, 7th team foul on Hopkins. 4 team fouls so far on White Bear Lake. Second one up, off the back iron, not good, and Hillsheim with the board. So 31-11, 6:25 to go in the first half. McGill, nice feed down low, and Hillsheim gets fouled. We talk about what a great scorer she is, but McGill gets her teammates involved,
yes.
Right? I mean, does everything well. Plays strong defense, can pass the ball. I guess when you're going to Florida, you probably do more than one thing well, right?
Well, yeah, exactly, and that's what's fun to watch when you got a court leader like that. That yes, we know she can score in multiple ways, but she also looks to get her teammates the shots and the amazing passes she can make.
Schmidt-Deal draws a foul. She'll go back to the line. White Bear Lake, we mentioned, in the bonus here the rest of the way. Sounds like Williams, her first.
This is where White Bear needs to take advantage and capitalize. Is that
missed on the front end of the 1-and-1. Schmidt-Deal just 1 point so far. Averages about 18 a game. Out of bounds and off of Williams. Turnover Hopkins. Well, no, they're going to change their mind. It was last touch by White Bear Lake. Oh, too strong for Cupido, but she'll chase it down to the backcourt. Woodson tried to get it into Williams, trying to squeeze that in, and too many White Bear Lake players in the area, and they turned it over. Here's Post. It's lob for Schmidt-Deal, but great defense by Hillsheim coming across, deflects the loose ball and forces a turnover. Woodson and McGill. Fake baseline, pass underneath, up and in for 2 for Williams. There's McGill drawing the defense and then finds LaCedra Williams, a sophomore, for 2 in the paint.
I was impressed with Williams on that because if she got it, she was bobbling, but she got control quickly and still had the composure to go up and finish the shot.
Woodson thought she was playing pretty good defense, but instead whistles for a little bump there on the wing. And White Bear Lake back to the line for a 1-and-1. This time that's Addison Post. White and Walker back in for Hopkins. And for White Bear Lake, Popard in replacing Wallach. Post can't make the front end of the 1-on-1. Schmidt-Deal, a great offensive rebound and able to put it off the glass. It's her first field goal here today. Still a 20-point lead, though, for Hopkins. Cupido for three. She's a confident outside shooter, knocks that one down. Saw her hit a big one, Patty, on our TV game we did against Minnetonka last month.
Yes, you know, it's just the confidence all these girls have when they're shooting, when they're playing defense.
Popard, three. Made a couple of them today, not this time. And a good play by O'Brien to play that off of the leg of White and out of bounds, so White Bear Lake keeps possession.
You know, O'Brien is one of the players that Coach says is kind of one of the unsung heroes. You know, their stats might not be where people look at, but he said they do all the little things. She's one of the two players. He said she and Post, they do all the little things that they need to do to help their team be successful.
Pressure on the ball by Woodson, almost forced a turnover, but Hopkins able to keep it. Shot clock down to 5, though. Post to pull up. A long shot was short. Hillsheim rebound, or excuse me, Cupido rebounds. Back to Woodson. Spin move by Woodson, and back out. Cupido. Drive in. Three-point try from Woodson, not good. Through the hands of White, able to corral it. Hillsheim will put up a three. Short, loose ball picked up by Popard. Schmidt-Deal into the front court for the Bears. 3.5 minutes to go first half. It's been all Hopkins here. Scoring their first 8, and they're up 36-13 right now. Three-point shot, now got partially blocked. And then Schmidt-Deal trying to get the steal. And gets whistled for a foul. 6-team foul on White Bear Lake, so no free throws yet for Hopkins. The second on Schmidt-Deal, though, so she'll have to come out here. Here's Woodson, pulls up, around, not good. Walker got fouled. Walker averages 6.5 points, about 8 rebounds per game. Already rated about that scoring average for the day. And now ahead of it. That's her 7th point here in the first half.
She's one of those players that I would she's just a workhorse out there. That's what I would classify. She works every aspect of her game and rebounding and
1 out of 2. Barber got the rebound off the miss, and now it's Post. Hanging up against White. Post turns, almost brought it up too high on the dribble, and then turned it over on the double team, and then Cupido lost it back, and the Bears get it again. Tough shot, and way off the mark. It might have been partially altered at the minimum. Popard shot. Cupido, another 3 try.
Well, that's one thing that another thing that Hopkins defense does is they make you rush your shots sometimes, you know, and you get down to those corners, you better know if you pick the ball up, they're coming at you with a trap every time.
Almost lost by Post at the sideline, but able to keep control. Bryan outside, shot is good. Couple of threes for O'Brien. He's got 7 points.
And that's where White Bear's been able to have their most success, when they can spread the floor a little bit. They get the ball movement. It's open to drive for them. It's opened up some 3-point shots. If they're just packing in all the time, that's where Hopkins is getting at them.
Woodson up and in on the short jumper. 39-16. Minute and a half to go in the first half. Bachmeyer off to Popard. Barber will hand off, and it's Post. Popard will put up a three, trying to knock down her third of the half. Can't get it to go, and a good play coming back, trying to get the loose ball was Bachmeyer. Was able to tie up Cupido, and on the held ball, they'll stay with White Bear Lake. Substitutions on both sides. We're down to a minute 11 to play here in the half. Wallach into O'Brien. Popard back off and the handoff to Wallach. Popard, O'Brien, Wallach again. Shot clock down to 5. And they have to hurry if they get one up at all, and they don't. Shot clock violation. That's great defense by Hopkins. Didn't get anything. Didn't give White Bear Lake any good looks in those last 6-7 seconds when they're looking at the hoop.
And that was tough. I mean, that was a great defensive stance. They were moving the ball, but they just couldn't get that look they needed or get that chance to attack.
.40 seconds to go in the half. Cupido all the way across to Woodson. Step back three for the junior, not good. Long rebound pulled out by Sarah Popard. Shot clock is off. Corner three from Wallach. Too strong. Rebound though by Bachmeyer. Back out it comes on the pass to Bosman. Under 10 to go. Bryant spins, shot up too strong, loose ball, picked up by Woodson. That'll be the end of the first half. Hopkins playing like the top seed in 4A. 39-16, Patty, here at halftime.
They definitely are. You're seeing everything they've got, even when some of their starters are on the bench, the kids coming in to replace them, you're not losing a step. You're getting in, the tempo's up, they're able to push the ball. Their tenacious defense, I mean, that creates a lot of their scoring also.
We'll take time out. We'll come and look at first half highlights and more. You're watching coverage of the State Class 4A Girls Basketball Tournament on CCX. Halftime at Williams Arena. State Class 4A quarterfinal round basketball in CCX. Number 1 seed Hopkins leading White Bear Lake 39-16. At the break, John Jacobson, Patty Sorensen. As we look at highlights from the first half of play today, Hopkins establishing its offensive game early. Irma Walker has played a solid first half, spinning and scoring early for 2 points. Liv McGill able to hit from anywhere on the floor, knocks down a 2-pointer there. Good passing in there to Lauren Hillsheim for 2. White Bear Lake gets on the board with a 3-pointer there from Sarah Popard. And Woodson answering with the 3 for Hopkins. And it's Popard again with another 3 ball. She scored her team's first 6 points of the game. Great pass here. McGill to London Harris off the glass and 1. Harris would make the 3-point play. O'Brien with actually a 4-point play here. Gets the 3 and also knocked down the free throw after the 3. Cupido with a 3 there for Hopkins. late in the half. As we look at the scoring leaders for the first half, O'Brien with 7, Popard and Schmidtdeal 6 and 3 respectively. That's all 16 points right there between 3 players for White Bear Lake. For Hopkins, Woodson and Walker 7 each, and Cupino with 6.
You know, and it's answering it there. It's the defense that Hopkins is applying is making it very difficult for White Bear Lake to get the kind of shots they want or even get the shots up. And when that transition and turnover happens, you're seeing Hopkins fly the other way and be successful.
Take one more timeout. We'll come back. Start the second half. White Bear Lake Hopkins on CCX after this. CCX Media, your source for great local programming, is available on Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, and Roku. Our free app allows you to stream all 3 of our channels live. You also have access to a large on-demand library, including full sporting events and daily newscasts. To find us, go to the store, search CCX, and download our free app. Then sit back and enjoy all of your favorite local content. The CCX Media app, available on Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, and Roku. Start of the second half. That's 4A girls basketball quarterfinal, 39-16. Hopkins leading White Bear Lake. First of 6 games here on this floor today. 4 and 4A and 2 in 2A. Maple Grove and Lakeville North to foul. Another game you'll be able to see tape delayed here on CCX. Underway in the second half. Lauren Hillshine back out. London Harris. Baseline right for her. A little bit short on the shot. Then rebounded by O'Brien. And Post will bring it up. Post starting a drive on McGill. A skip pass across. Good ball movement into Barber's hands, and underneath for 2 for Bachmeyer. White Bear Lake did not have a lot of possessions that looked that strong right on the first half offensively. In rhythm, getting good passes, quick passes too. Hillshine, though, answers with a 3 for Hopkins.
Exactly. You know, when they did get a couple good shots, it came off some of their ball movement, and that's what they need to do to try and be more successful in this game.
Hillshine now with 11. She actually had 8 first half points. So after White Bear Lake gets a nice 2, and then Hopkins just comes right back. They've got a lot of players that can shoot from the outside.
They definitely do. I mean, their players can shoot from the outside, and they all attack the bucket too.
Yep. Tough to makes it extra tough to defend, right?
Definitely.
24-point game here early in the second half.
Harris picked up her 3rd foul on that last foul there, so we'll see what.
Shot clock down to 5, and it's turned over by White Bear Lake. 2-on-2 break here. McGill lost a handle on it. It gets it out for Woodson. Missed it. Rebounded by Walker. Back to McGill. McGill was so confident that Woodson was going to make the 3. She already had the 3 symbol in her hand running back down court. And then Woodson misses, but Hopkins gets the rebound. And down to 5 seconds to go. McGill's going to have to hurry here. Drives, puts a shot up. Not good, and then we get a foul. Hopkins. I don't know if, shot clock violation.
Yeah,
okay.
as I say.
I don't know if she realized how little time was on the shot clock. Started that drive a little late, and Walker trying to play good defense. Gets the block instead and fouls Schmidtdeal.
That's if she got her just a little too intense with the upper body and right on the sideline and just kind of banged her there.
Pass underneath. Oh, great look to Post. Or excuse me, to Bachmeyer, who's got back-to-back baskets here early in the second half for the Bears.
John, like you said earlier, there was again, they got more movement, they're moving the ball better, and they got a nice little roll to the bucket and got her the ball.
Yep, first 2 points First 2 baskets of the game for Bachmeyer here early in the second half. McGill. Woodson and into the hands of Hillshine and to take it away. Here's Schmidt-Deal. The basket and draws the foul. Foul on Walker.
That's going to be her third too then.
So Harris with 3, Walker with 3. McGill had 2 early on. A timeout here for Hopkins. Coach Starks, so the comfortable lead, not really a great start compared to the first half for her team in the opening 3 minutes.
And I'm sure that's what she's going to address, what's going on, where they're picking up a couple of these fouls and just, you know, okay, how they've gotten some easy shots, adjustments she wants to make, but you got to credit those shots that were kind of easy because of the way they moved the ball from White Bear. But she's going to address some of the things that defensively that she wants to see fixed.
Minnetonka will play this afternoon. Patty, we saw them earlier this season, the game against Hopkins that we referenced in the first half. They've got a good chance here too to win in 4A, along with this team in blue and black here we're seeing.
You know, it's the top seeds made it here, and they look good. This could be very competitive. The other top seed that maybe didn't get here was Wayzata, as you have to go against Hopkins in the section finals, but there's a lot of talent here in this tournament.
Free throw up and good for Jordan Schmidt-Deal. And 1 out of 2. 4 points today for the senior. So with 15 minutes to go, 42-21, Hopkins doubling up White Bear Lake. Double team in the corner, good pressure by White Bear Lake, and Woodson able to get it across. They're down to Hillsheim and then back out to McGill. Good defense on this possession for White Bear Lake. Woodson for 3, not good. Good offensive board by Hillsheim, was fouled. Wrestled control away from of the ball from Barber, and able to draw contact, and Hopkins keeps possession, gets a reset on the shot clock.
Yeah, you know, and she had it, but you got to give credit to Woodson or Hillsheim for coming in and just pulling that rebound away from her.
Walker into McGill. Defense by Schmidt-Deal. Contact, blocking foul on Schmidt-Deal. Not pleased with that call.
No, no, it was. I think they were both moving. I think she more lost her balance. And,
right. But might have been a no call.
Yeah.
Inbound McGill to Hillsheim, and 1. The game for the junior. Hillsheim now 13 points, 6 rebounds, and a chance for a 14th point coming up. Bryan and Schmidt-Deal each with 3 fouls for White Bear Lake. Team fouls for the half, even at 3 apiece. A good loose ball, chased down by Walker. Well, this has been a long possession, or now back-to-back possessions for Hopkins. Keep getting the offensive rebounds, the shot clock resets.
They are very aggressive on the boards, and that's to a big advantage of theirs.
McGill missed on the 3 and rebounded by Schmidt-Deal. Front court for the Bears. 14 minutes to play, second half. Post trying to lob it for Bachmeyer, and Hillsheim will have none of that. It's the steal. McGill pull up 3, not strong. Walker the offensive rebound. Woodson and back out to McGill. McGill will drive, puts it up, tough shot, Hillsheim. See off, he had the inside position, gets another board as she's fouled by Bachmeyer.
You know, when you watch Walker in there, and she's a freshman, and I, you know, a lot of coaches, when you're on the court, it doesn't matter what grade you are, but, you know, when you look at some of these young kids and what she can do for this Hopkins team, her rebounding, saving the ball, attacking, it's fun to watch.
Wallach, Bondsman, and Popard all back into the game here for White Bear Lake. Ball stolen here by the Bears. Bondsman got it into the front court, into the hands now of Wallach. Draws a double team, hands it off to O'Brien. Hillshine cuts her off. Wallach and then back off to post. Trying to lob it inside, and Walker there for the steal.
I think that's going to be really tough because you're going to see anytime that ball starts lobbing up, they collapse. And she had 3 people on her. That's a tough one to catch that way.
Right pass underneath. McGill to Hillshine. McGill with her 6th assist. Hillshine with 15 points. (46-21). Hopkins and a steal from McGill. And foul, they'll go to the line for 2. Yeah, like that. What a pass.
You know, you got another one sneaking in there in the back, and that pass just right on target. And like I said, crisp. It's there. There's no floating in it.
McGill the line for 2. 80% free throw shooter. And of course, this is the first one. Well, 4 out of 5. She'll make the next 4. Right?
Yep.
Williams into the lineup for the first time in the second half. Let's head Williams in and Herman Walker out. Harris also out. Cupido in for Hopkins. Second one is good for McGill. Barber able to inbound this and into the front court. And fouled in the backcourt is Wallach.
She was applying good pressure, but when they made the curve, I think she kind of tripped over the defender's feet as she was going.
Fouling Cupido is her second. Wallach curls into the lane, pulls up on the outside. Good pressure by Hillshine, didn't allow Barber to get a shot off. Whistle, well kicked, and it'll be White Bear Lake with still 14 on the shot clock.
That's one of the things hurting White Bear Lake right now is it's the picking up the dribble. And every time they pick it up, they have 2 or 3 people coming at them and trying to find their open person. So a couple of times, I think if they would have just pulled up right there in the paint, they would have had a good jump shot.
That shot, good close in look, but Mossman's shot didn't go. Loose ball. And a foul on Hopkins. McGill a little shaken up here for the Royals.
It's like, I don't know if it's a shoulder.
Boy, she's certainly dragging that left shoulder. She comes off. With McGill in obvious pain coming to the bench here.
Ooh, I could hear her yell out from here when she's just stepping down in there.
Popard. Into the hands of Barber. Wallach. It's a drive off the glass, too strong. Mockmeyer to hand out, couldn't get to it. Cupido got it. And I guess that was never a clear change of possession. And so White Bear, the shot clock buzzer went off. It's going to be Hopkins side in at half court here. You see McGill, like maybe it's more her hand than her shoulder. Sure, top and left of your screen, got pushed a little bit by her own teammate almost.
Yeah, it was looked like a collision in there with her shoulder.
Not going back to the locker room, and no trainer there, so from the outside, that looks like a good sign. Right? And a steal here for White Bear Lake. Schmidt-Deal to the basket scores.
Yeah, I saw their trainer working on her a little bit, having her go through some motion right now. I don't know if she popped it out or.
Cupido to White, back to Cupido. Through traffic, lost the ball. A turnover, and here's Schmidt-Deal again on the run. Draws contact from Hillsheim. She'll go to the line for two. The back-to-back steals for Schmidt-Deal. Trying to add to her point total here from the free throw line. Oh, and Hillsheim is her second. Harris and Walker getting ready to check back in for Hopkins. This free throw is good.
Pretty touch. Pretty touch.
Cupido and Hillsheim out for Hopkins. Second one short and chased down by Williams. Tatum Woodson into the hands of Irma Walker. Walker on the block. This little turnaround shot over Popard, not good. Rebounded by Wallach. Schmidt-Deal, front court for the Bears. 10.5 minutes to go here in the second half. 23-point Hopkins lead. A deflection by White that caused a turnover. Trying to get the pass ahead. That was a long pass to try to complete for Harris. Knocked out of bounds by the Bears.
That was another one of those where the dribble got picked up. And when you're playing against Hopkins, you got to know if you pick your dribble up, you got to have someone to go to or a shot you're going to take, because they're going to send more than one person at you.
Woodson curls around for three. No, short and out of bounds. For White Bear Lake, Post is back in the lineup along with Barber and O'Brien. Schmidt-Deal, pass, turn around, free throw line, shot up and good. Heidi Barber, the senior, with the basket. Her first points today. Ball to the corner, Harris and back out to Woodson. Here's Walker, trying to take her player off the dribble, then goes back out with the pass to White. Woodson, three is good.
Pretty shot.
Woodson now into double figures. She's got 10 points, 4 assists, 5 rebounds. Hopkins up 50-26. Popard back out to Post. Three ball, a little off the mark that time for Schmidt-Deal. Woodson, runner, and she'll go to line to shoot two. Last possession, and the three for Woodson. Not a lot of offense, Patty, though, for Hopkins here in the second half. Now, they haven't needed it, and their defense has been good enough. They're up 23 at halftime, all of that. But you look up at the scoreboard, only 11 points in the first 9+ minutes of the second half, now 12.
Well, you know, and it's like there's a few shots that they've got off that you thought were going to go. They're shooters they usually make. They just weren't going in for them. And Hopkins is going to pick it up again because that's what they do. And But you got to credit, you know, White Bear Lake too. They're getting a little more comfortable, getting some shots off, and their defense has caused some things.
And a good sign for Hopkins. Liv McGill back into the game. So more pain, but just temporary for Liv McGill. And boy, she did not look good, and she came off with that injury. And good to see her back into the lineup.
It was just the way you just kind of wondered if the shoulder got dislocated or something. But good to see that can be back out on the floor.
She replaces Woodson in the lineup after the made free throw. Double team at the sideline. Schmidt-Deal able to get the pass, and then they swing it left side. Popard. Good possession for White Bear Lake. And then an offensive foul on Harris, trying to create space, which she did against O'Brien, but got whistled for it.
She kind of swung that arm around and was probably a little more aggressive than the referee liked, I guess.
That'll be the fourth on Harris.
She got the rebound.
Watch it again.
There, that was fine, but it was the second one. She did a good clear, but then when she came back with her left arm.
Another possession here for the Bears. Barber for three, short, and corralled by McGill. Lob in, Walker up and in for two. It's just for McGill, her seventh. 9 points now for Walker. Under 8 to go now in the second half. Schmidt-Neal able to corral the loose ball, but then couldn't get the shot to go. Here comes Hopkins the other way. McGill. Loose ball picked up by Hillshine. Trying to go baseline on O'Brien and kicks it back out to McGill. McGill to the basket. Fouled, will go to the line for two.
You know, when you were talking earlier about differences in the court size and things, here we go, she makes that. Right. Interesting shot on, you know. But on court difference here, you talk about the one things kids might in the beginning, even though they're shooting farther back from the three-point, there's two lines down here, which is the right one, you know. And then the other thing that I've noticed too is, you know, the difference from to half court. You got a little more trouble where normal games, some of those could have been over and backs if they'd done that.
Court's a little wider.
Yes.
A little more room in the corners.
Yeah.
McGill free throw up and in.
You know, I was watching them help her up, and they helped her up with under the left arm and everything, so she looks like she's okay.
Now 9 points for McGill. I don't know if she'll quite get to a triple-double, but she's, you know, again, talking about that complete game. 9 points, 7 assists, 6 rebounds for the senior. The only senior on the Hopkins roster, I might add.
Oh, yeah, like I said, they've got the depth and the young people, but yeah, she's close on that, and that's a fun thing you like to see. Like I said, rebounds, assists, all parts of her game are being played.
Post to the basket. Strong drive, but couldn't get it to finish at the end. Cupido rebounds. Hopkins quickly back the other way. White in traffic. I thought deflected, and White Bear Lake pulls it out.
You know, White Bear Lake's getting some of the looks they want. Just having a hard time getting that ball to drop.
Yeah, only 10 second half points for White Bear Lake. And we're under 7 minutes to go here.
Oh.
And double dribble whistled against Barber.
You saw her do that. Saw her face as soon as she did it. She realized what she did. It was just, and that's created by the pressure that, again, that Hopkins is putting on you.
Here's McGill. Hopkins didn't have to be in a hurry in any of these possessions now. Wind down the clock, get a good look at a shot, but you're comfortably ahead. Cupido, who can shoot from out there, knocks it down. Her third three-pointer of the game. Ava Cupido now, the freshman, with 9. Lead is 33. Hand off on the baseline to Barber. Off to Post. Post, and it knocked away by McGill. Schmidt deal. Baseline, then back out. Being it fouled before she released that pass. Last possession for Hopkins.
She had a nice wide open shot, a little more wide open, I'm sure, than White Bear Lake would have liked, but nice touch, nice finish.
Cece Adler Jr. in for the first time today for Hopkins. She'll replace Malaya White. Schmidt deal to the line. Earns the bonus. The last foul on Hopkins, their 8th team foul. Hopkins was, or White Bear Lake rather, was 7 here in the second half. Got them both. Schmidt deal now with 9 points, 8 rebounds. And off to Cupido. Adler and back out to Cupido. McGill. Look at defense in front of her, and then the third time try, she's able to get the blow by past Bachmeyer into the basket. Bachmeyer stayed in front of her first couple of times, and then McGill, third time is the one more extra move and got to the hoop.
She's that explosive and heads up, seeing that, you know, they collapsed 2 times on her, but then the third time she just was able to get to the seam and go.
Hopard for 3. Well, she can shoot, right?
She sure can.
5'11", 8th grader with another 3-pointer. She's got all 9 of her points on threes, much like Cupido. McGill, runner, not too good this time, and rebounded by Schmidt-Deal. 61-31 with under 5 minutes to go. Hopkins closing in on their 26th win of the season. The spot in the state semifinals to the basket. Shot by Bondsman, up, not good, but she's fouled, will go to the 2. Look at that basket again by McGill.
That was just, and then 2 times, like you said, 2 times before that, she made the move, came out, made the move, came out. Third time, success.
Hillshine coming back into the lineup for Hopkins. Ava Smith, number 22. And for the first time, as Emma Walker gets a nice round of applause. Smith just an 8th grader.
Walker did a very nice job today.
Osman's second free throw up and in. Cupido for 3, short. And the rebound pulled down by Bachmeyer. Off to Wallach, and then back out high to Popard. Popard slicing to the basket, not good. A rebound by McGill. Late pass ahead, Lauren Hillshine gathers it in and gets to the basket for 2. Hillshine now with 17 points to lead Hopkins. Three ball short. Loose ball chased down briefly by White Bear Lake. Now here's Hopkins on the break. McGill and Hillshine can't finish. Wallach for White Bear. Off to Popard. Slices to the basket off the glass and in.
Nice.
Nine-point Hopkins lead. They led by 23 at halftime. Hillshine all for McGill and able to corral it before it went out of bounds.
She is such a good ball handler that, you know, some of those things that you think are going to go, she's able to save.
McGill in the basket and 1. feet ahead. Hillsheim gathers herself and scores. And then here McGill in the end one.
She gets her eyes up right away. As soon as she gets the ball, especially in transition, those eyes are up looking to see, and that's how her teammates get some nice buckets, because she gets it down to them.
Free throw around and in. And McGill will come out and get a nice round of applause. 14 points, 8 assists, 7 rebounds. And a morning well done. I was going to say an evening, but we're still in the morning here on Wednesday at Williams Arena. Ball knocked away, scrambling to the floor. Ava Smith. Get a foul on Hopkins, though. And that'll send Chloe Tyson to the line. Hopkins has had more substitutes come in. Linnea Durant is number 25 into the line. Nora Ivy, number 10 in. Free throw up and in for Tyson. Ava Smith mentioned also now for Hopkins. Mackenzie Spading, number 2. Second free throw, nothing but net for Tyson. Sophomore guard knocks him down. Inside of 2.5 minutes to go. Ball knocked out of bounds off of Waite Bear. Spading off of the pass to Durant. Back to Spading. Shot off the mark, off of Durant's hands. Whistle, and it's off of Hopkins. And out. On the floor right now for the Royals, had 4 8th graders, and then the veteran, the junior Adler.
Like I said, they go deep, don't they? Deep and young.
Three-pointer up and in. Sophia Manier, sophomore, with a 3-point shot. Ivy off and out of the corner and back out by Durant. Into Adler's hands. Back out comes Durant. Adler will put up the 3. Too strong and chased down by Popard. Curling around, 3-point shot. Comes up short for Tyson. Lead pass and chased down by Adler. And hands it back off for Durant. Ivy shot off the mark. Rebound for Adler. Spading pumps up a long one. Short and out of bounds. Harper Peterson, Ruby Zay, and more substitutions on both sides.
Boy, you're looking at the success of Hopkins here. 11-1 in the conference, 25-3 overall. They only lost in the state was to Minnetonka, and look at the outscoring their opponents by more than 300 points in both the first and second half.
A pretty consistent team, right? Half to half. Nisha Muhammad in for Hopkins, and then a steal here for Avery Weber. Yet another 8th grader. Ruby Zay, and then off to Harper Peterson. Outside, shot around, and wouldn't quite fall for Adler. Hopkins, look at all the state tournament appearances for them in the 2000s. Champions a couple of years ago. Of course, that 20 team was the team that might have been the best team I've ever seen. It was Paige Becker's senior year, listed as a finalist. That was when the season was shut down by COVID the day before the championship, and I had no doubt they were going to win that championship by double digits against their opponent in the final. I can't remember if it was Park Cottage Grove or who they would have played, but that was an unbelievable team. That would have been another state title team under Brian Cosgriff.
They were very, very talented team. I agree with you on all that.
Weber's three missed. Back out. Muhammad with it. Back into Weber's hand. We're gonna shoot down the stretch here, right? If you're in the game, you get the ball. The ball's going up in the state tournament. The final seconds wind down. At least Elker got in late here for White Bear Lake. Lawrence Sunderland, and the final seconds out of bounds. 2 seconds to go. Last possession for the Bears.
At least Coach had a smile on her face after that one. Just kind of went a little far out.
Lydia Brown, Gabby Hartzell in. Final seconds off the clock, and Hopkins posts another win. They're 26th of the season. They lead from start to finish, 66-39.
Yeah, they did, and as you're preparing for a team like Hopkins, you're going to be preparing for their offensive pressure, how they attack the basket, how they swing the ball, and that was a Hopkins, what we're seeing them play like. White Bear got a little more success in the second half. I think they got a little more comfortable. Unfortunately, they had a big hole by halftime.
Hillsheim with 17 points, McGill 14 to lead a balanced Hopkins scoring attack. Coach Stark's another win in the books, and they'll go into the semifinals here Thursday night against either Lakeville North or Maple Grove. White Bear Lake drops in the consolation play.
Yeah, this next game coming up is going to be interesting to see. It's going to be a good game, and then that's, like you said, who Hopkins is going to see play. And I think White Bear Lake will take some things out of this and regroup for consolation play.
That will do it for our telecast today on CCX. For all of our crew and for Patty Sorensen, I'm John Jacobson. Thanks so much for watching. Hopkins a winner today over White Bear Lake in the 4A quarterfinals. 66-39, the Royals win it.